Hello class, good afternoon class and teacher. Today I'm going to be talking about kratom and actually why it's a good thing and not bad, as most of the media and the FDA have put it. The reason why you haven't been hearing about it much is because it's still relatively new here in the United States. It's only been here since 2011, I think, was the first time that they actually figured out what kratom was here in the United States. But kratom is actually a plant that derives from the southeast area of Asia, which would be around, from the main area would be Thailand, and then in 1859 was when it was first established as an actual drug that could be used to benefit people there. A lot of hard laborers, a lot of people, pregnant women that were going into labor, people with broken bones back then, they didn't know how to set anything or help them out, so they gave them kratom because they found out one of the benefits is the opioid-like feeling that it gives you, as opposed to when other countries having the poppy plants and stuff, which would make heroin. The locations it derives from are Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Papua New Guinea. And like I said, the main location that it comes from is Thailand. A lot of people, after they would work, when it was first found, was they would go into the forest after long days, hard labor, and they would just pick random plants and just eat them or smoke them. But how kratom was first found was they actually took the plant and made it into a tea. So then when they drank the tea, they found out, hey, this is actually pretty good for us, we should keep drinking it. But then due to the rise in the West, which would be us in the around 2011 was when it actually came here, but early 2000s was when it actually first was starting to be produced here as little packets of like 10 capsules or 5 capsules. It was, like I said, it was relatively unknown, but because it was a brand new drug that a lot of people were ditching their painkillers for, the DEA moved in and was like, nope, this drug is really bad, we gotta get it off the streets. So then, according to Gary Enos, he is a DEA agent, he said the Drug Enforcement Administration plans to take steps on kratom, a plant compound in Schedule 1 of the Controlled Substance Act. So which means they're trying to move it into Category 1, which would also be the same category as marijuana and all those other bad drugs. At this moment, there is no scientific proof as to why kratom is bad, but there's also no scientific proof as to why kratom is good. A lot of people just go back and forth on it. A lot of the conservatives and the church people think it's bad because it gives you high and you're sitting with the devil all day. But like a lot of people that do like it, say the benefits outweigh the bad because it's actually getting them off the harder, made in the lab opioid drugs. And then according to Boyer, who was a drug counselor, there was a man they did a test on. He was a 43-year-old male. He was taking hydromorphone in patches and in shots every day. And that's like a mix of hydrocodone and morphine. And he would only get a week's worth, and after that he would go into severe withdrawals. He would start going into convulsions, he would start having DTs, he would see things, he couldn't sit still, he couldn't eat, he stopped sleeping. And he went out one day and he found kratom, and when he started taking the kratom, he found out it actually made him feel more better, it gave him less withdrawal symptoms, and it was much cheaper as opposed to paying $160 for the hydromorphone shots. He was only paying $16 for 20 capsules of the kratom. It was also tested on rats, and unlike opiates, rats showed minimal pill withdrawal, which means they weren't sleeping. Pill withdrawal is when you fall asleep afterwards because you don't have the pills anymore in your body, trying to get rid of the opioids, so it's sleeping it off. And the sweats, the rats showed none of that, and they showed that they had very good functioning qualities well on the kratom as well, as opposed to being lazy and not doing anything well on the opioids. The FDA has actually on their website has linked 138 deaths with kratom, which is why the FDA and the DEA are like, this is a bad drug, we don't want it. But what a lot of autopsies show, and what they don't want to tell you, is that a lot of the people that did die had more of a higher concentration of methamphetamine or heroin in their system, and they only took like 2-3 capsules of kratom. So because of their deaths, and they had a little bit of kratom in them, it's kratom's fault that they died, even though they were taking these harder drugs. And let's see. Oh, and as far as it's going with the DEA, they are still, it is banned in 14 states right now. North Dakota is looking to be the next one, because like I said, with the opioid qualities and stuff that it supposedly gives people, they're trying to just make it banned everywhere, because with people turning to kratom and leaving their opioids, they're not paying for their prescription drugs, and they're not putting money back into the system. So that's why they're losing money. So then that's why they want to essentially make kratom illegal. And I'll end it with a quick fact. The actual name for kratom is Mitragyna speciosa. And like I said, as of right now, there is no scientific proof as to why kratom is bad and why kratom is good. But many of the testimonies from past drug abusers have proven, are showing significant signs that this drug is actually a really good thing for the people. Thanks for taking the time to listen.